Sorry?
Are you concerned that the impacts of the GST shortfall will impact seats at the next election?
Well, we have a system where with the Western Australia arrangements that are in place, we have a no state worse off deal that ensures that it's the Commonwealth that picks up the financial cost of ensuring that occurs. We have record funding flowing through to states on infrastructure, on health, on education, in so many areas. We will continue to work constructively with state and territory governments. We work through the issues. One of the problems that they had was that there were a whole lot of projects that were funded not with money but with a media release. You didn't have the dollars attached. You can't drive on a media release and you can't ride on a media release. You need real dollars based upon real costings. So we have ensured our $120 billion plus infrastructure program is being rolled out around the country with new projects, including significant additional funding here in Western Sydney.
The energy market operator warns delays in transmission lines and renewable projects have increased the risk of energy shortfalls. Why are these projects falling behind?
Well, it's pretty similar, the IEMO report, to last year, and they want to make sure there's reliability in the grid, and that is what we are doing. So we have record numbers of solar panels put on roofs in Australia in the last 12 months. I'll tell you what the energy market regulator has not called for, and that is for a transition to nuclear reactors. That's the alternative. Peter Dutton's plan is to once again press pause on action on the transition to a clean energy economy, whilst he has this so-called plan on nuclear reactors where he won't tell you where they're going to be, he won't indicate who's going to finance them, and he won't tell you what the cost will be. What we know is that it is up to 6 times more costly than renewable energy. That's not a plan, that's a disaster. And it's after a decade of denial and delay where they announced 22 different energy plans and didn't land one. It contrasts with my government, which has announced one plan for net zero, 82% renewables by 2030, a reduction of 43% in emissions by then, and serious policies out there that are assisting with the transition.
Should the New South Wales government extend the life of the RARA?
Well, that's a matter for the New South Wales government. I had a chat with the Minister Sharp just a couple of days ago. I know that they're considering that. We need to make sure that there is stability in the grid. That is what they are doing. The former government, of course, federal government, pretended that there were going to be new coal-fired power stations. Where are they? They were in office for almost a decade. None of it happened. They put money into the Collinsville study to the proponents that was never ever going to go ahead because it didn't stack up. For the same reason now, they're saying that nuclear reactors will stack up, but they can't find anyone to finance them or anyone who say it will go ahead. It is a recipe for delay, and we need something better than that. Last one.
Clearly wants to have a debate on migration, which could turn pretty ugly. The country's already had a divisive debate around the voice. Are you prepared to have this debate?
Well, Peter Dutton always looks to divide. What I look for is to unite Australia, to unite us, because if we're optimistic about seizing the opportunities which are before us, we can really use this decade to set us up for a generation to come. There is nowhere in the world you'd rather be than Australia right now, with, in spite of some of the challenges that are before us. We have all the resources under the ground that will power the global economy in this century. We have the best solar resources in the world. We have an opportunity to have a green hydrogen industry, and I note today already, as a result of the announcement that we made in last week's budget. A major company speaking about producing green steel through hydrogen in Gladstone in central Queensland. That is the sort of thing that we need. We are an economy which has created 820,000 jobs over the last 2 years, that's seeing real wages increasing, is seeing inflation moderating, is seeing business investment increasing, productivity improving, and we'll see every Australian taxpayer get a tax cut, increase wages, be able to keep more of what they earn. That stands in stark contrast to Peter Dutton, that's always looking to divide. He's out there saying he wants Australians to work longer for less. He's saying that he'll oppose the measures that we have announced for people to not be working 24 hours a day if they're not being paid 24 hours a day. He's announced a range of other divisive policies that don't present a coherent way forward. We're addressing the migration issue, we're addressing the housing issue, we're addressing all of the challenges that are before Australia in a considered, orderly way. That is something that has characterised my government. Jim Chalmers here has brought down 3 budgets. He's turned a $78 billion deficit last year into a $22 billion surplus, and now we're projecting a $9.3 billion surplus going forward. That responsible policy stands in stark contrast to the waste and mismanagement and denial and delay of the former government over 10 years, including Peter Dutton, who presided over a migration number that was higher than what we are projecting going forward when he was the Minister with responsibility. Thanks very much.